ויהי לי לישועה. עוזי וזמרתיה 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 ויהי לי לישועה.
Page 134. Hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz, pitchu v'ranenu v'zameru. Raise a shout to God, break into joyous songs of praise.
Ay, yara la la la, yara la 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 la. Ay, yara la la la, yara la 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 la. Ay, yara la la la, yara la 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 la. Ay, yara la la la.
הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ,
לאדוני כל
הארץ, לאדוני כל הארץ. יזכו,
רננו וזמרו, רננו וזמרו, רננו וזמרו. בכינור בכל זמרה, דברו לאדוני בכינור בכל זמרה. יארה לה לה יארה לה 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 לה. יארה לה לה יארה לה 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 לה. יארה לה לה yara la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ,
לאדוני כל הארץ, לאדוני כל הארץ. יצאו, רננו וזמרו, רננו וזמרו, רננו וזמרו.
דברו לאדוני בכינור,
בכינור בכל זמרה, דברו לאדוני בכינור בכל זמרה. יארה לה לה לה, יארה לה 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 לה.
Page 137, Adonai Oz La'amo Yitin, Adonai Yivarech et Amo B'Shalom. May God grant strength to our people and give us the most important gift of all, the gift of peace.
Adonai Oz La'amo Yitin, Adonai Yivarech et Amo. Adonai
את עמו. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו. Shalom, Vashalom, Vashalom, Vashalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
How you doing today? Good? Feeling a good week so far? So far, it's the end. It's a good week. Or has it been a good week? We're about to say goodbye to the week and end it. I like that we have a nice ending to our day. Do you know that in terms of Jewish time, we can start saying Shabbat Shalom from Wednesday, and we can say Shavua Tov, like wishing people a good week, through Tuesday. So it's always goodness. We're always greeting people in one way or another. But Shabbat marks our week. This week, we are in between two spaces. We're in between recovering from the morning of Tisha B'Av, the destruction of the temples, which we as progressive Jews kind of question, why are we sad? Do we really want to rebuild the temple and have sacrifices again? I don't know about
Everyone likes a barbecue.
Except for the vegetarians. There you go. So perhaps not that, but but what did that mean for us? For us, it was a bit of a sadness and a bit of it was the last time that the Jewish community came together as a whole, and there was a sense of Jewish unity, and we lost that, and we lost our sense of hope. We got it back, but it took a while. But we go from that to what we will be experiencing on Sunday, which is Tu B'Av, which is the festival of love. And so we go from destruction to love, but somewhere in between, right now, Shabbat, is Shabbat Nachamu. It's a Shabbat of consolation, and that we realize that there needs to be a transition. When we're sad and we're hurt and we lose our hope, we can't just all of a sudden snap it and turn it on, right? We need to actually feel comforted first before we have the energy or the wherewithal to be able to express that love. And with the idea of talking about love, we're told that the temple was destroyed based on baseless hatred, but it can be rebuilt based on unconditional love. And love of human beings, love of everything. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to stand up. You don't have to tell people you love them, but you can go and introduce yourself, show nice.
You can if you want.
You can if you want to.
Might be a bit strange.
But just, show a sense of love, happiness, joy, and welcome. Introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Stand up, walk around, those of you who are able.
No.
דודי
לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה
שמו בשכו בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם תפארת ונצילה
לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם לסוכה סוף מעשה לרשע מתחילה
לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה
התעוררי
Verse 5.
כי בעורר קומי אורי 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 שתדברי כבוד אדוני אלייך נגלה
לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה
ימין ושמאל תפרצי ואת אדוני תריצי היד איש בן חצי ונצמחה ונגילה
לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה
בואי ושלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך תודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לה 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 Please be seated, all except for you. Come on down. Bring your mum. And so we have the wonderful joy of celebrating with this lovely young woman who is going to join us and join our community and be welcomed into our community. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, berachnuchem מבית Adonai, Eliada ve'odeka, Eloi baromemecha, hodu l'Adonai, ki tov ki leolam chazdo. Blessed are you who come here in God's name. Hello. Baruch atah Adonai mesamech horim im yaldehem. Praise to you, Adonai our God, source of the universe, who causes parents to rejoice with their children, especially if they let you sleep. Zecher l'olam britod, I know of which I speak. Zecher l'olam britod dvar tziva le'elef dor. Baruch atah Adonai koret habrit. God remembers the covenant forever, the word commanded to 1,000 generations. We praise you, Adonai, who establishes the covenant. And so, would you like to read here, please?
Baruch
Oh, hang on.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hachnisa b'vrit am Yisrael.
In English.
We praise you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to bring our daughter into the covenant of the Jewish people.
There you go. You got the microphone? You hold on to that. Now, don't eat it.
She is the star.
You got it? I won't let it go. So, would you like to keep reading it? You hold on to that. That's good. Keep going.
We have been blessed with the gift of new life. We have shared love and pain and joy in bringing our daughter into this world and have been privileged to participate in the marvel and beauty of creation. Through our loving example, we hope to teach our daughter to become a caring and loving person with a sense of her own worth and respect for others. May her life be one of happiness, goodness, and wisdom. May she be in shining light and give help to all who know her.
So tell us a little bit about why you have chosen the names that you have chosen.
Our baby's first name is Zita, making her the fourth in her maternal line to bear that name.
Wow.
Her great-grandmother Zita was named after the last empress of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Is that what you have to live up to? That's pretty cool. Okay.
May God bless the House of Habsburg. You never know, they may make a comeback. We've got to be in with them. She survived the war by hiding in a village in Slovakia, pretending to be Christian. Her daughter, Zita, our Zita's grandmother, who is in Budapest and can't be with us tonight, grew up and lived most of her life under communist rule, where Judaism was subject to repression. And her daughter, my wife Zita, mother of this Zita, was born under communism but has now migrated to Australia, where she is a very proud citizen of a democratic country where religion is freely practiced.
Freely practiced. Yes, freely. We're in. Yes, good.
Well, they obviously haven't seen the bill from TBI. Her second name is Eseta, which is a Polynesian spelling of Esther. This name commemorates Eseta Fusitua, a Tongan cabinet minister, the first Tongan woman to graduate from university and one of the toughest and most principled Pacific women I ever met in my almost 30 years as a Pacific specialist journalist. And if Zita follows in her steps, she'll be doing very well.
Careful what you wish for.
Her third name, Nechama, is partly for my older sister Norma, who didn't make it into this world, but is always remembered. The name Nechama, meaning comforter, was also chosen because it's a Jewish custom to name a child Menachem or Nechama if they are born near Tisha B'Av, and every day since October 7th last year has felt like Tisha B'Av.
Okay. So, the godmother, Tess Ikonomou, is that how?
Economou, yes.
Ikonomou can't be with us tonight, but is watching via live stream. Hello, Tess. Everyone wave to Tess. So, we ask that you are always welcoming if she comes to you for company, advice, or support, and that you will listen to her and respect her confidence, no matter how great or small. I normally ask for a response when I say, do you accept this privilege and responsibility? I'm going to hear the echo from the internet. Thanks, Sol, for adding the yes into there. Then,
Bruce says, yes, that's me.
Yes, that's you.
Yep. Tess writes, "It is a great honour I wholeheartedly accept. As Zita's names include meanings of strength and comfort, they are the characteristics I would like to shape our relationship with. She knows she can always turn to me in her times of need during her journey. I wish her happiness, health, life, love, and wisdom."
Fantastic. And so, would you like to share this Maori blessing that you have prepared? And I have a copy here for you.
Right, I've got it.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
This is for my mokopuna. I bring this greeting from New Zealand. She's a citizen of New Zealand as well as of Australia. Sita, my moko. I have to use it.
That's okay.
I didn't think I would.
I have it here for you.
It's okay.
Yep.
I'll keep this. Ma te atua koi I manaki, ake, ake, ake. May the Lord bless you and keep you forever and ever and ever.
Goodness, doesn't that sound familiar? We're going to share a blessing at the end of this ceremony, which has exactly those words. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu kayem et hayalda hazot le'aviv ve'le'ima ve'ikra shema beYisrael. And so, here we have it. Our God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child for her father and her mother, and let her be called in Israel Zita Eseta Nechama Hill, daughter of Bruce Hill and Zita Ultman, born on the 27th of December 2023, the 15th of Tevet 5784, and in the presence of friends and family on the 15th of August 2024, 13th of Av 5784, entered into the covenant of Israel and blessed with the Hebrew name Nechama Bat Yisrael Verivka, and it has been signed by our rabbi and by myself. May her name be a source of joy and inspire her to serve our people and all humankind. May her parents rejoice in her growth of body and soul. May they, with wisdom and patience, lead her to a life of good deeds, Torah, and the blessing of family life and the practice of goodness. And we say, Amen. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה רחל ולאה הוא יברך את הילדה הרכה הזאת ויזכו אביה ואמה לגדלה לחכמה ויהיו ידיה וליבה לאל אמונה ונאמר amen. May God who bless our ancestors Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel and Leah, bless this infant. May her parents have the privilege of raising her, educating her and encouraging her to attain wisdom. May her hands and her heart be faithful in serving God. And we say Amen. Amen. And so the blessing that you gave just a moment ago is very similar to the words that I'm going to share now, which are the words of the high priest Aaron gave to his children thousands of years ago, as documented in the Torah, in the Bible. And so I'm going to invite you to put your hands on her head and to please rise. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May Adonai bless you and protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha vichuneka. May Adonai show you favor and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai, Yisa Adonai, Panav Elecha, Veyasem Lecha, Veyasem Lecha, Veyasem Lecha Shalom, Shalom. May Adonai show you kindness and grant you the most important gift of all, the gift of peace. And we say, Amen. Now, Grandma, could you grab a cup of wine from there and dip your pinky into it? And pop a drop of that wonderful homogenized, pasteurized, and sweetened wine into her mouth as we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri Hagafen. Taste this. What do you think? Oh, we like that. We like that. Yeah, the AA meeting is just afterwards in the Friedlander Street. And so we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam shechianu v'kimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Mazel tov. Simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov. Simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov. Simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov. Yehi לנו, פה בכל ישראל. יהיה לנו, פה בכל ישראל. דוד מלך ישראל, חי וקיים. דוד מלך ישראל, חי וקיים. And so I'm going to invite you to join us as we light candles. We're going to be found on page 118. Zita, would you like to read at the top of 119 there in the English, the first paragraph?
Yes.
Hello, beautiful. Oh, you like the candle?
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own way, be among those who kindle light.
Would you like to light the candles? I light this candle as a recognition of all those who are unable to be with us, all those who are unable to be with us. And so we light this memorial candle,
Is getting heavy?
and we remember them. Zita, would you like the Shabbat candles?
Yes.
And the bracha. The bracha, the blessing.
Should you do it together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baruch.
Oh, I can't speak.
Oh, okay.
You do it.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen. And so, as you know, if you haven't taken a selfie and posted it, it hasn't happened. So too, if you don't have a certificate, it hasn't happened. Here's your certificate. Are you ready for this? Is that cool? Why don't I hand this? I'll give this to you, and I will take my prayer book back as we say Mazel Tov, and we say thank you also because the family is inviting everyone to join them after the service for a lovely Kiddush at the back of the hall. In the meantime, you will find us back in our prayer book on page 140. Please be seated. Page 140 with the words of Mizmor Shir. Mazel Tov. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינות. שמחתני ארוני בפועלך, מעשה ידיך רנן. מה גדלו מעשיך ארוני, בעולם קום מחשבותיך. איש בער לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין עצות. צדיק התמר יפרח, כרם בלבנון ישגה.
שתולים בבית אדוני,
בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינבון בזבח. ישנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, זכורי ולא עוולה תבוא. Page 142, the angels bless us. May this week be as blessed, as filled with joy and blessing as this Shabbat that we have prepared, as the Shabbat table that we have prepared, the dinner that we've prepared, the Kiddush we've prepared. May our week be filled so too with this sacred feeling, this sacred sentiment, and this sacred blessing. Page 142.
Shalom Aleichem,
Malachi Asharit, Malachi Elyon, Melech, Malachi Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Noachim Leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Malachi Amlachim Makadosh Baruch Hu. Archuni Leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Amlachim Makadosh Baruch Hu. Zetchem Leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. We rise on page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish and the call to prayer.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
העמד דברה הירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל.
בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב.
ואמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שם לקודשה
בריחו
לעם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה.
ואמרו
אמן.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. We continue on page 148. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhma potech sha'arim, u'vivunam mishane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'mesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia ketzono, borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
אהבת עולם,
אהבת עולם,
ישראל,
עמך
אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות,
תורה ומצוות,
ומשפטים,
אותנו
לימדת,
לימדת, אותנו לימדת. שוכבנו,
ומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו,
הם חיינו,
ואורך ימינו,
נו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה.
ואהבתך תשים
אהבתך נים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
שמע ישראל, אדוני, אדוני אחד. ברוך
שם
כבוד, שם כבוד, מלכותו לעולם, לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום הלבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיר תכלת. והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם,
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We continue on the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
מי כמוך בעלים אדוני עליי, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא.
מען איכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים. זני ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Yam bam bam bim bim bam, yam bam bam bim bam, yam bam bam bim bim bam, yam bam bam bim bam. Ay ay la 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 la, yam bam bam bim bam. Ay ay la 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 la, yam bam bam bim bam. ונאמר כבר אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 160. השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום.
השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום.
ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים ולשלום, ולשלום. השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אלוהינו לשלום, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal One, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts, eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Ashkivenu, Ashkivenu, Eloheinu leshalom. Baruch ata Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Eternal One. His shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. On page 162, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat. This is our covenant for all time.
ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדודם ולעולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת די נפשו
And so we rise on page 164 for the Amidah, the standing prayer. As is our tradition, we shall chant the first three of the benedictions as a community, then we'll continue in silence, whether using the words of our prayer books or the words of our hearts. Please feel free to be seated when you've concluded your personal prayer or meditation, page 164, the Amidah.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל אלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא עליון גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל מחכה חיים בחסד מחיים מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים באמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בר הגבורות ומדום מלך מלך במיצור חיה ומשמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך.
אדוני, אדוני צורי, אדוני
צורי,
אדוני צורי,
וגואלי,
וגואלי, וגואלי. refi vegion libi
לפניך,
Adonai Tzuri Adonai
צורי
Adonai Tzuri
וגואלי,
Vegoali Vegoali.
So there's a story about Rabbi Meir, who comes from Lvov a long time ago. And he decided that his purpose in life was to do good. So he looked and found every opportunity he can. When someone was sick, he would go and visit. When someone was in mourning, he would go and visit. When people needed help to get from here to there, he would help drive them and just make sure that everyone was okay. But one day he was walking through a town and he saw there was an amazing circus going on. And everybody was watching the acrobatics, and it was amazing. It was fantastic. And he looked to the side and he saw the horses. And the horses were huffing and puffing, but there was no water around. And he looked at all the equipment of everyone with the circus, and he said, you know, where's the water for the horses? They had to schlep all this stuff over here. Is anyone thinking about the horses? So he went and he took a walk and he couldn't find anything. So he decided he was going to walk to a well. So he walked, I don't know how long, he went a few kilometers. He went to the well, he found something, a bucket or something, and he brought the water back and he fed the horses. The horses were so happy. And then the what's it called? The person who runs the circus. The ringmaster of the circus. I kind of feel like it was the manager behind the scenes. But anyway, so he comes and he says, listen, thank you so much for looking after the horses. We were just running late and we had to get everything started. And we really, really appreciate what you did. And you worked so hard. You schlepped all the way there and you carried it back. And, please let me pay you. Let me do something. And the rabbi looks at him and says, you think I did this for a job? That's not why I did this. I did this to show my love to God. In this week's Torah portion, Vayet Hanan, we all know, we hear about the repetition of the Seret HaDibrot, the Ten Commandments. We also read the Shema in the first paragraph of the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta, what does that mean? What does that mean? Come on. And you should love, right? Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, and you shall love Adonai your God, it says, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. What does that mean? How do you love something that you can't see? How do you show love to God? How does God know it if you do? Right? It's a really interesting thing. One of my favorite things to do when people tell me that they don't believe in God, I say to them, I said, have you ever loved anyone? Most often, not always, but most often they say yes. And I say, how do you know? How can you prove it? I can't. Love, like God, is unprovable. And it's known only when it's known. There's no right or wrong. Nothing what anyone can do. So how do you show love? Well, we're all going to do it in a different way. But the Rambam, Moses Maimonides, said that the way that we show love is to think about God and to do the mitzvot. And he further said, just as a lover tries to please and follow the desire of the beloved, so too we in our love of God must try to understand God's will. Now, I grew up in a totally secular world, right? Jewish parents, but not at all religious. So what? God's will, loving God, it just didn't make any sense to me. And then I did a little more research into the Torah. And I realized that the word love, how many of you guys, show of hands, have seen Fiddler on the Roof? Okay, those of you that don't have your hands raised, shame on you. No, go and watch it. You know the scene when Tevye and Golda are talking, and Golda says, "Do you love me?" And he says, "Do I what? Do I love you? For 25 years I've washed your," goes on, and I've washed your clothes, I've given you children, made the bed, milked the cow. She goes on and on and on. What do you mean, do I love you? Yeah, but do you love me? He keeps saying. And he says, well, if that's not love, what is? Right? So Golda says, I show love through my actions. And if you take a look at the Torah and you take a look at the first time love was used and you look at the times that love is used over and over again, it's all connected to action, not emotion. Right? Emotion is a personal thing. Love is something that you do in conjunction with another. So how do we show love? I'm not going to prescribe it for you, but I'm going to ask you, in this week, on this Shabbat, right before Tu B'Av, and with our Parsha V'Etchanan, talking about how do we love God, I'm asking you to think consciously and intentionally, how do you show love to people in the world, to the world around you, and to God? And do it. Don't just feel it. That's what our Parsha is talking to us about tonight. We rise for the Aleinu on page 586, 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה כיוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם.
אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
So we remain standing for a few more moments as we think of loved ones who are no longer with us, those who have departed this world in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat, thank you. We remember the cost of Israeli lives that terrorists take. Jonathan Deutsch was 23 years old, killed in a drive-by terror shooting attack in the West Bank. He was part of a small group of volunteers headquartered during the first wave of coronavirus. He was recently discharged from his service in the IDF. He was working to become a teacher and recently engaged, and was amidst planning for their wedding. This week, in the period of Shiva, we recognize Yosef Shomer and Susie Ashkenazi. In the period of Shloshim, John Jacobson, Marion Stanley, Sura Unga, and Deborah Ariana Randa. And the yahrzeits that fall this week: Eli Adurian, Rose Babar, Raymond Bayer, Zalia Bellen, Nedra Einstein, Joseph Fradkin, Gerda Grebler, Gerda Huppert, Nora Huppert, Jane Kay, Esther Kelly, Franzi Langfelder, Len Levine, Helen Light, Ruth Marks, Sheila Mayers, Richard Mayers, Norman Mendelsohn, Moniek Minsky, Esther Phillip, Sylvia Radolnik, Nellie Ross, Hugo Schwartz, Edward Stein, Joseph Unger, Magda Urban-Weiss, Robin John White, and Mark Vilensky. If there are other names that you'd like to share, please do so as I look around the room. We remember these along with all those dying so unnecessarily, whether in Israel, in Ukraine, or elsewhere in the world. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, as we turn to page 598 in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
בעלמא דברה חירותי והמליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן קל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה. תאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, and to all of humanity. And we say,
Amen.
Amen. So did you want to make any announcements before we make Kiddush?
I do. Just very briefly to let you know, for those of you who don't, tomorrow morning we will be honoring and celebrating Rabbi Dr. John Levi's 90th birthday party. So come with your party shoes on, and it should be a good celebration. Also to let you know that any of you that are or know any young adults, there on September 1st, there is going to be a young adult event that has a rabbinic panel talking about various things of Judaism. Stay tuned. I think there was a flyer in the newsletter this week, but if you want any more information, feel free to contact us. It's being organized by PJV. The High Holiday Choir. Would you like to talk about that, Cantor?
Yes, if you know how to sing, come and see me. Love to have you. We're starting to rehearse next Sunday, not this Sunday, but Sunday week. So if you are likely to enjoy learning the liturgy, come and see me. And if you're not up to the High Holiday Choir, there are other choirs, which are community choirs for people at all different levels. So come and see me. Love to have you. And if you play an instrument, come and see me as well, because we'd love to have some instrumentalists involved in our Friday night services as well.
Fantastic. And if any of you are interested in learning Hebrew, we've got our Hebrew class back and running on Tuesdays around 6 o'clock. So if you're interested, call the office.
Now, finally, as those of you online will know, we now do Kiddush at the back of the hall in order to preserve our prayer books from little round circle marks. So if you're online, you won't see us, but you will hear us. And for those who are in the sanctuary, please come to the back of the hall where we'll be making Kiddush and motzi. And you will find that the wine is marked, as is the grape juice, so be aware if you have children who should perhaps not be taking part with the wine, just be aware which one you are serving.
Thank you. Just one more thing before you give more instructions. I just want to welcome our visitors from the City Builders Church here from Sales. So thank you very much for joining us. It's lovely to have you.
And thank you to Bruce and Zita for this marvelous Kiddush. It is lovely to share this with you. Please join us with the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon inchilanu. זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני. מקדש השבת לחיים. And then the motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen. Shabbat shalom and b'davon.